All right, Norbert Simons, the 2015 Sports Awards nominations are fast approaching.
Yeah.
From the department standpoint, it's been a number of years that this is going on. What are you hoping the public, the national sports governing bodies, and sports fans alike try to do to make this one even more special?
Well, we would hope that one, they would provide us with enough information to give the committee enough to think about in their selection process. That would ultimately be what we would require from the public.
This year has been a stellar year for some individuals and some teams.
Yes.
In the sporting world, especially from Bermuda.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be encouraging to see some of those names, teams, and even those who have supported those teams and individuals to have their names put forward by members of the public and SGBs.
Yeah. It would be really important that the national sports governing bodies that these athletes and these individuals represent will be the prime leaders in getting that information to us, because ultimately at the end of the day, after we get the information, they would have to say yea or nay to state whether these athletes are in good standing with their organizations. And two, they would have all of the information that's required. I think the general public will nominate, and they will go on their best guess information. They will go on some of the superficial information, but when it comes down to drilling down deep, the national sports governing bodies are going to have to provide that information.
We all know funds are tight.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that your organization has put on for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
Can we see possibly a scaled-down version of the sports awards as we've seen in the past?
Mr. Basin, from my point of view, we cannot skip on this. We will do our utmost to ensure that we can do this event on budget and the like, but we don't want to minimize the accomplishments of our athletes and those that are involved in sport. So we will do our utmost best to provide a quality event, and one that our Bermuda can be proud of, and our athletes can see that they are really being respected for what they do.
When do you think the nomination forms will be available for the general public?
They'll be available next week. In fact, I'm just revetting them as we speak, so that our target date is to have them released on the 15th of November.
Okay, and the deadline again is that?
It's the end of December, yes.
Okay, all right. For yourself, you consider yourself still a sports person. What has been some of the highlights that you've been that you've seen thus far this year?
Well, clearly, what stands out in my mind would be the performance of Jessica Lewis, the performances of Flora Duffy, Tyler Butterfield. You could look at what happened in Cup Match. You could look at there's a myriad of sports and young men that are involved in Taekwondo. The young boxer who just won his last fight, name escapes me at the moment, Nikki Bascom, and and there's a few others that have done well in boxing. And you could look at even the events involving sailing and swimming. Our swimmers have done extremely well again this year. And not only that, what's going to be quite interesting is that after we finish the sports awards, not only at the sports awards, but who will be nominated for the outstanding junior female athletes of the year. I think that's going to be where the rubber really meets the road this year, because we've had some really outstanding performances by our junior athletes, and I'm really glad that we decided to acknowledge our junior athletes as male and junior female athletes of the year. So it would add flavor to the event, and I think that's where the real challenge is going to come. And I'm really hoping that our national bodies will put forward our junior athletes, because there's been some outstanding athletes in track and field and swimming and horseback riding and you name the sport, so they've been outstanding.
All right. Well, we look forward to the nomination forms coming out, and then the date. Have you set a date for the awards ceremony?
We have tentatively set a date for, I'm not going to quote this, in March, but what we're going to do different this year is that we're going to go back to a Thursday night, because we find that even though we try to get our date in early, there's always a conflict with either another event, the football tournament that they have at the National Sports Center. Right. So we want to try and make this event on a night that we're pretty much guaranteed that there's not much else going on.
Okay.
Because this must be the highlight of our calendar.
Okay. All right. Well, we look forward to the nomination forms and then deliberating and
Yes.
then